Hello, art people. We are going to work on step 3 here of our factors and multiples gnomes project. So this is our flow map. We are working on this one right here. It says draw a gnome. So go ahead. I have put this thick paper at each table. If I have not, we're going to pause it and pass that out. But other than that, you guys can go ahead and grab a pencil. I'm just gonna try to make it so you can see the whole piece here. Alright, so the first thing you do is always the same. You pick up your pencil and write your name. So down here in the bottom corner, you're gonna write your name and your class. Okay, and your class, of course, is 4, because you're a 4th grader, and the first letter of your teacher's name. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. So the first thing we want to do is draw our hat for our gnome. Now we are going to be drawing a belly and shoes and a big beard, so make sure you have room for all that. So it's about halfway up your paper. You're going to draw the hat. So you can do any type of hat you want, but I'm going to do a triangle that's curved at the top. So I'm going to go diagonal line up, curve at the top, diagonal line down. Okay? And now I'm going to do the brim of the hat. So it's just going to be a curved line, like a rainbow curve line. Like that. And then I want the hat to be a little longer, and I want it to curve here or fold down. So you can fold it on the right, you can fold it on the left, you don't have to fold it at all. But if you do want to do a fold in your hat, you are going to start at the top, this curve up here, and it can go out if it's a short little top of the hat, or it might hang down further if it's a little longer. So I'm going to go down and back up into the hat like that. And yours can be wavy, it can curl in, it can be whatever you want. All right, now that these two shapes are next to each other, we actually want them to just be one big shape. So we can erase this part because this is splitting those two shapes apart. So I'm just going to erase this part here. Okay, and then it kind of seems funny. I'm going to actually add a little bit of that back because I want there to be a fold in the fabric. So I'm actually just going to extend this left line here up a little bit, but I'm just going to curl it in a little. So see how it looks a little bit more realistic like that because of the fabric fold. So if you want to add that in there, you can. Okay, we'll add more details to our hat later. So now you're going to draw the beard. So again, like I said, you don't necessarily want the beard to go all the way down because you'll probably want to do some pants and some little shoes. I've done a gnome that has more straight hair. It's on the board. So this one is going to be more curly hair just so you guys can see your options. So for this, I'm going to do, like I said, curly hair. So it's going to be more like this. So I'm just doing, and you do whatever gnome hair you want. But I'm just going to kind of do this curved line all the way around. And again, I'm going to try to leave a little room at the bottom of my paper for some shoes and for his pants. something like that. Sorry, I just wanted to make this side match that side over there. Sorry, that might have been a little confusing. You don't have to do it twice. I just did it twice because I didn't like how far down my first one went. Okay, so that's my curly beard. And now we can make it have more texture later. Texture is how something feels. It's an element of art. But now I'm going to do the nose. So you can do a little tiny nose, you can do a big nose, or a medium nose. So usually when people draw gnomes, the hat is covering the eyes. So we don't really see the eyes. The hat is just kind of stopped by the nose usually when we draw gnomes. That being said, if you feel really strongly about giving your gnome eyes, okay, that's fine. You would just draw the eyes here and the nose would go under that. All right. And now we'll go ahead and, like I said, we're going to do the bottom of his pants here. So it's just kind of something like that. So a big letter U, essentially. And I did not leave myself much room for shoes there, but. And then for my shoes, I'm just going to do these little curves. So think about it like an open parenthesis and a closed parenthesis. And I'll show you how, if you wanted to do a little sneaker, you could just do a big sideways U. And then extend the bottom a little. Then go up. And you can make it high top sneakers or low sneakers. And then you would just draw the rubber part of the shoe. And then you could draw some laces if you wanted. And then like a little Nike sign. And maybe front and back of a shoe. So this is an idea for a sneaker. Then here's another idea as well. You would do a curve on the inside like this, and you could do a big curl like this. If you wanted to kind of have these types of shoes, this type of shoes, like a little curly shoe, and then you could give it a little pom-pom. So sometimes we like to draw gnomes like that, or we could have like a less extreme one too if you wanted. So there's some options. You're not going to be drawing on the side of yours because we're going to be cutting this out. As you can see in step 11, we'll be cutting out the horseshoe and the gnome. So you don't need to draw anything around here. That was just some ideas. Now, we are going to be gluing, we're going to make horseshoes later, and we're going to cut them out, and then we're going to glue them on. So see on this example, the little gnome is standing on his horseshoes. But there's also another way you could do it and have your gnome holding horseshoes. So you kind of have to decide if you want him to be holding them or you want them to be standing on it. And this is why you have to decide that, because now we're going to do the little arms. And so you could have his arms going out to the side. But if you were to do that, then you'll have to have your gnome standing on your horseshoes. But if you want him to be holding the horseshoes, well, then you're going to have to put some hands in here. And maybe even some arms in here. Okay, so I'm going to give mine arms. And he's going to be having his arms come in here. But again, you can have them going out if you want. I mean, you could have him waving. He could have his hands in the air, whatever you want. But we're going to draw our arm now. So basically, I'm just drawing a curved line here. It's like a letter C. And that's going to be for my shoulder. So you can draw your letter C if you're doing arms going in like mine. And then I'm going to do the bottom line, bring that out further, and bring the top line out further. And then I'm going to connect those. So he's going to have like a long sleeve shirt. So if you want it to be a shorter sleeve, you just put it up here. Now, you guys know this from my drawings before, but just to remind you, whenever I draw something over something else, I erase what I covered. So see how this arm is covering this little beard here? So I'm going to erase this part of the beard. Okay. And then I'll just do the same thing on the other side here. So backwards letter C. Line going from the bottom. Line going from the top. And connect those lines. Then erase the part of the beard that you just covered up. Okay. And then I'm even going to add little hands to mine, and it's just going to be these little half circles, these partial circles here. Okay. Now let's add some details. So first detail we're going to do is the hat pattern. So you could put a big basketball. Maybe he's a basketball gnome. Maybe he's a Valentine's Day gnome. You can give him a heart. Maybe he has lots of little hearts on his hat. Maybe he has polka dots. Maybe he has stripes. Maybe he has checkers. Maybe he has flowers. I'm going to give mine a checkered hat. So first I'm going to draw lines going up and down. And then these kind of start going this way. Flowers on the hat would be cute. And then for my checkers, I'm just going to go the other way now. And we're going to be coloring this with chalk pastels. There you go. Those checkers are kind of funky. This is what chalk pastels look like. So as you can tell, you're not really going to be able to get into like little tiny details like we can do with pencils and colored pencils and tiny paintbrushes even. So we're really just going to be doing big shapes so you can color it in. So I am just warning you not to do little tiny details because you're not going to be able to color those very easily. Okay, these checks are kind of silly. Whatever. And then, so we've done our details on our hat. Thumbs up if you have done your details on your hat. Okay. And next is we're going to add texture to the hair. Texture is an element of art. It's how something feels. Mine is curly, so I'm going to like continue with these little curly lines here. And like I said, you're going to be able to pick if he's holding a horseshoe or standing on a horseshoe. So don't worry about too much in right here if you're going to be having him hold the horseshoe. So. All right. And then you can also give him some little details on his pants. I think I will give him some polka dots on his pants. And that was me That was kind of a funny sound. I just moved on my leather chair and I made that sound, just so you know. It was not a toot. It kind of sounded like a toot. Okay, and then you can also do a pattern in the arms if you want. The sleeves, I'm going to leave those solid. And that is our gnome drawing. Oh, yeah, and also if you wanted to add little details in the beard, you can do that as well. I think I'm going to leave this beard without things, but you can look on the board and see that a different gnome I did, I gave him flowers in his beard. And also pom-pom for the hat. You can leave it flat like this. You can see on the board I have one where I did a 4-leaf clover. For this one I'm going to do a flower. Where you could do an actual pom-pom ball, like a classic pom-pom ball. Okay, there we go. So again, you're not drawing a background for this because we're going to be cutting him out. All right, that is it for this video. Thanks for watching.